My name is Glenn. I'm sure that Alina has told you this already. I teach English here at EPAM, and I've been teaching for about 2.5 years. So I'm from the United States, and before I became an English teacher, I worked as a manager for a home medical company for a few years. Before that, I owned a business that we sold computer and printer supplies, many, many years. So I know a little bit about how Americans think and things that you should say, things you shouldn't say, and I would like to share those with you today, if you would allow me. Now, I can tell you that between our two countries, we have a lot more similarities than we have differences, really. Belarus and America, yes, there are differences. You have cultural differences. But overall, we're basically the same kind of people. However, I'll point out a few things that you might not know about Americans. So let's go. So what do we know? We have what's called a time is money mentality. This is a phrase that was coined by Benjamin Franklin. Time is money. I don't know if you've heard of this or not, but you know, growing up in America, I've heard it a million times. And what it means is time, if you're wasting time, you're wasting my money. So we have really, we don't have a whole lot of time to waste, basically is what it means. Okay? A lot of Americans are overworked now because of downsizing. Whoops. Hello? Okay. Something happened. Excuse me, a little technical difficulties here. Over the last 30 years or so, what's happened in America is that a lot of companies have what are called downsize. They have downsized their companies, which means that they, in order to create more profits, they had to cut back on their staff. So that's what has happened in America, a lot of downsizing. Now, this is good for companies because it allows them to make more money, to save more money. But what does that do to the workers? It puts a lot more work on them. So there's a lot more stress now than there used to be. The good thing about this, one of the very few things for workers that actually makes it good for them is they're good at multitasking now, which means that they can do more than one thing and at a time. And as a matter of fact, when you're in America and you go on an interview, they ask you this question: are you good at multitasking? Are you good at doing more than one thing at a time? So that's one of the standard questions that you get asked. Americans like autonomy, making decisions on their own. Another thing that's happened over the last few years is the management structure has changed, where it used to be that the management it was a top-down management style. Now it's more flat. A lot of employees make their own decisions in their own teams, their own groups, and Americans seem to like this. As far as being informal, in the old days it was Mr. and Miss. Well, actually now it's a lot less formal than it used to be. First names after the first meeting would be sufficient, I think. So maybe the first time you meet someone, you'd want to call them Mr. or Ms. But after that, it's basically by their first name. Americans are also known to be friendly and hospitable, and they're very helpful at times, up to a point. Remember the time is money mentality, right? They tend to be, well, they're friendly for a certain amount of time unless you ask them the same question over and over again. I'm sure you understand that. You don't like to do that yourself. But. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about how to avoid misunderstandings. If you're unsure about something, ask for clarification. If you have an email or someone needs something from you, don't just guess that this is what they need. If you're unsure, you want to ask. You definitely want to ask. Now, the best thing to do is to get it right the first time. What does this do? Well, it prevents from any misunderstandings later on. And you want to be proactive, not reactive. Think about it, think about the problem, and actually anticipate any problems being in the future. And you should actually take the initiative. What that means, maybe take this to your manager if you see that there's a possibility of a problem in the future, or let your customer know about it. This actually will help you quite a bit. And also keep it professional. Now, sometimes we get into a situation with our clients, our customers, where we get to be on more of a friendly basis. There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, that's a good thing. But you want to remember that they are your clients, they are your customers. You want to keep it on a professional level. Okay. I also included this, which is how to get faster responses to emails. Now, I do understand that you do send a lot of emails back and forth. What you want to do is be persistent, and you don't want to give up so easily. So you want to ask nicely, okay? You want to ask nicely. And you do that by asking direct questions and using the magic word help. We'll go over these one at a time. First, be persistent and don't give up so easily. If you need something, we understand that our clients are busy. You don't want to bother them. So maybe you ask once and then you forget about it. Or you don't forget, maybe you just don't want to bother them. Just don't give up. You need this information as well. So you know it's very important to you. You want to ask, you want to follow up. I'm sure you know a lot of people in history that are persistent, right? You don't give up right away, you just keep trying until you get what you need. If you don't get a reply right away, try again. Still no reply, try one more time. Yeah.
But how about autonomy in this?
Sorry?
In this point. I mean, in your previous slide was about you have to be autonomic.
Actually, those are characteristics of Americans.
Mm-hmm.
They're more autonomous, yes. I'm not telling you to be that way. I really don't know what your management structure is here. Okay. We have a saying in America, which is you can catch more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. What do we mean by this? Well, it means that if you ask in a nice way, you can definitely get more than asking in a not so nice way. Okay? So this is good when you actually need something, and as far as Americans respond more positively to polite requests than they do something like a direct question. And you do this by asking indirect questions for better results. So let's talk about indirect questions. Indirect questions are more polite. So let's take a look at a direct question. Direct question would be, where is the file? That's fine, that's a perfectly good question. But if we ask in an indirect way, we can say, can you please tell me where the file is? Or, would you mind telling me where the file is, please? These two down here will definitely get you the answer. I believe this will definitely help. Being direct, there's nothing wrong with that, but when you really want something from an American, it would actually be better to use the indirect question. You'll definitely get better results. If you don't get a reply, okay, you start with a friendly, positive message like, hi Jim, hope you're having a great day. And then you go into your question. I was wondering if you had a chance to send me the file I asked you about yesterday. Okay? Still haven't received a reply? Express your urgency. May be very important to you. So you want to say, I realize you're busy, but it's possible you can send me that file as soon as possible. Okay? Different ways to ask. A lot of people don't know this, but the word help is really important to Americans. It really is. The word help. When you use the word help, it's like your ears perk up. It's really interesting. It's a very important word to use. And you can use this in offering, such as, may I help you with that? Or, I will be happy to help. When you're thanking someone, you want to maybe put this at the very bottom of your email. Thank you so much for your help. Or, if I can be of further help, please let me know. These are just ideas for you. So in conclusion, why do we need this? It's a better understanding of our customers. The better we understand them, the more successful we'll be, the more successful our company will be. It improves our relations with our customers. It saves us time and money. And it gives us a competitive edge. Not everyone knows this. So you may have an edge over your competitors that don't have this information. And effective communication skills like I had gone over with you, asking in a certain way, will definitely help you do this. Okay, that's all I have for you. Thank you very much. Any questions? No?
Could you please share it? I haven't remember all the things.
Sure, absolutely. I can print that out. Right?
Sure.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, what about, for example, like small maybe jokes when I'm thinking like for Russian and I guess that now we're discussing maybe an issue or a feature and in Russian I would maybe say small joke. Would it be polite to say this joke or just few words, informal words for customers, for clients?
If you think
If for example I communicate with them for a few months, so I know I work with them,
right.
not just we just had a first initial meeting, but I know them, or maybe for a year.
I don't see that that would be a problem as long as it is in good taste, and that's subjective. You know, it's really hard to know exactly what that is, what the joke would be. As long as it's not about anything too controversial, I think it would be fine. Yes. It's nice to be, you know, have a good relationship with your customer, and telling little jokes isn't so bad, just as long as it maybe isn't a bad joke, like a dirty joke or something like that. Yeah. Any other questions?
How often should we ping somebody if we have no answer?
That's a very good
One
question.
time
Yeah.
per day.
Do you wait 30 seconds and say, "Oh, no response"? I know that you all have, you know, different people that you work with. You may send 100. Are you on instant messaging?
No,
Skype?
It depends on communication method. Per email, it's probably enough one per day, but in Skype, one per hour.
Yes. So if it's by email and it's time sensitive, you can use this, and this would be helpful to you. I think we would definitely get you answers. I think these tips will help you get answers quicker. But when you're talking with someone and that is through Skype, this really wouldn't apply to you because it's almost like an ongoing relation or an ongoing communication that you're continuing. This is more for emails, I would say.